everything that you've done recently, what is your, I guess, most favorite stunt that you have gotten to do on film?
My favorite, the one that actually made it to like that you can actually see, because on my phone I have a bunch of previs.
Yeah.
Last year was the year of the greatest fights I will never get to do. There was 2 fights from shows. You can do the math on what it is. I want to totally call it out.
Right.
One was like, you know what? I can drop the knife representing the mic and walk away. It was my favorite fight I have ever been a part of, and it was everything I could ever want. There was another fight that was so over the top, kind of ridiculous, and I was opposed to fighting Justin Eaton.
Yeah.
I was fighting with Justin Eaton.
Oh, nice.
And it was just, it was so fun. You know, how often do we get to, like, they put on a suit, put on tack gear, and do a fight? Yeah. That always happens. So I'm always looking for, like, I want to do something, you know, creative, different, fun. I am literally the guy I mentioned, Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Yeah.
I would love to do a fight in drag. It's almost happened. But like a long flowing ball gown.
We're speaking it into existence right now.
High heels. Yeah. I think Sebastian would be down for this kind of role where there's just something comes in and, you know, the character wouldn't even have to be a fighter, but just a dancer, because these big fanning kicks with the gown moving in the heels, it would be something so unique that we don't usually see that I'd love to do it. But back to your question, I think my favorite one, because you can always look back and it's like, well, this was a good one. This was a great one. But hands down, Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Sam and Bucky versus Walker fight.
Yeah.
I'm with 2 of my closest friends, Aaron Toney and Justin, who, you know, as dance partners, it's hard to beat.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the first year that they were doing the Emmy nominations for performers, and we got nominated for that. But it was just such kind of an amazing moment that we're all there together doing this.
It's very rare in this industry that you get to work with your close friends and then on something like that.
And to do such a fight. This is a huge fight. And I will never forget one moment of that too is, you know, Bucky gets thrown and he's electrocuted and he's taken out for a moment. And it's after he's resurrected and saves Sam from getting his head chopped off again from Walker, because Walker just killed the guy. Justin and I are about to go. And, you know, the crew's still kind of getting to know us in certain ways. And we're pacing back and forth, occasionally shooting each other a look. And people are like, okay, are they going to hurt each other?
Yeah, this is actually going to be real.
Yeah, and you have David Cumber that's just like looking over, he's like, yeah, that's fine. That's completely normal. And we're just getting in intense, and we're just at the opposite sides. It's like 2 fighters in a grudge match, and we're about to go. We come over, and I don't know if anybody's ever mentioned stunts, like, you know, you give each other a bump, just hit each other on the chest, give a little shout, because it activates the body. Yeah, and it's like, hey, we're going to get into it, and the whole nervous system turns on. So we give each other a bump, kind of scream at each other's faces a little bit, and we go back, and everybody's just kind of like, what are these 2 psychos do? And they say action, and we just lay into each other. And we go full force. We go through it, and we get through the section that we're going to do, and they say cut. And then, you know, like, dude, yes, all right, awesome. Like, yeah, no, all right, we're warmed up now. And they're like, hold on, we may not have to do another. And I'm like, we're good. We want to do one more. Like, that's the warm up. The next one will be better. And people say, like, they're insane.
What is wrong with these guys?
But that's something that we especially he and I lean exceptionally well. If there's ever a moment that it's like, well, you're fighting Justin. Yeah. You're with Justin. I just know that he's one of those, you know, like some actors act, you're in a scene together, you know that scene is going to be incredible because you've seen them work together before. With regards to Stunts, if I'm doing something with Justin,
it's going to be good. Yeah.
It's just something, we've known each other pretty much our whole lives through martial arts, then into Stunts. Yeah. And it's just something through that friendship. Like, he's my brother. Like,
no, that's why they hire you. Honestly, they know it's going to be solid.
Yeah. The other fight that was where I was fighting alongside of him, I had actually initially asked him, like, hey, so who are you thinking about bringing in for this? Already thinking. And the amazing Hank Amos just looks at me and he goes, who do you think? And I literally grabbed Hank. I kissed him. I'm like,
yes.
this is going to be amazing. I promise you, you're going to love every minute of this. And he's like, every time I hire you two, this is exactly what I get. So a question.
That leads us right into the Thunderbolts, obviously, that was just released. I have not seen it yet, unfortunately.
It just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So
I got time. I got time. I got till tomorrow. They 3 days in, they start to post the spoilers, and then it's all over from there.
It's a shame because there's a lot of spoilers for this one, but it's worth it.
Oh yeah. This is the saving grace of Marvel, from what I've heard. This is their big, I guess, comeback moment since Endgame. Really, it's been up and down.
Well, I mean, okay, we had Guardians 3.
Yeah,
which I thought
Guardians 3 was great. Yeah, that was great.
I teared up.
That could be like a standalone movie.
Yeah,
like all the Guardians
moments with Rocket and the other animals and stuff, and like how you're looking in those moments of not just that they're animals. When we see an otter and an otter has that face, and you're like, oh my god, this is so adorable and cute, but
so sad.
They humanize so much of the abuse that was happening, and it's like when you really anchor into it, this is James Gunn. He's amazing with these things. We can only expect really great things because he can get these things from people. You humanize those things, we connect much more. So that whole trauma that we get from Rocket, I think, just
you really feel
set in, and I thought it was a fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was super.
First F-bomb in the MCU too.
Really?
It's the first time anybody has ever said fuck in the MCU.
And then you introduce Deadpool, and it's like,
and then you're just going to break the records. We also had Deadpool and Wolverine, which was, I mean, talk about fan service.
That's another standalone.
Those fights were in there, and second unit director George Cottle, who was our second unit director on
always great. Yep,
it's George Cottle.
Yeah.
And then the Thunderbolts taking a very different approach to all of it, and we all have preconceived notions of things. So to see Thunderbolts on the screen and what Jake Schreier, the director, was able to really put forward in the vision and see what came out of that, it was just like, wow, this is
next
really
level.
Well done. This is fantastic.
It's getting great reviews so far, so I'm excited to see it.
I was very pleased with it. I mean, everything down to like the costumes, if you look, they're not as kind of grandiose as they usually are for Marvel films.
Yeah.
But when you see it in the world, you almost think like, well, if you'd done more, it would have been too much.
Yeah.
And honestly, like there's very little that I'd be like, well, this in the film and that, and like, it's interesting because you know the entire story, it's coming next.
Oh yeah.
And you see it. I thought it was amazing. I loved it. I enjoy seeing it. Stay all the way to the end because there are 2 post-credit scenes and they are worth every second.
I mean, as Marvel does.
Yeah.
They are about their post-credit scenes for sure.
And for anything else on that, I got to say that first time we see Bucky coming in as like Winter Soldier hero, Joe Dryden on the motorcycle.
Oh, so that was not you.
That was no.
No.
I ride a Harley. I love it. Cage free. Do all those things. Can I do what Joe Dryden does on a motorcycle? Oh hell no. And if I could, I would never make it look as cool as Joe does. Yeah. No, Joe Dryden is he's in that first sequence. He was the one in Utah doing that, and he is.
So he's the bike double.
Yes, he's the motorcycle double, and it's interesting. I hadn't met Joe yet, and then when Peacemaker, he has some stunts on a motorcycle, which I didn't think would be physically possible on a motorcycle.
Right.
A lot of people, you see people do things on like a Yamaha 250, like, these dirt bikes and stuff like that. And it's a
lot easier to maneuver. Yeah.
Joe can do those exact things on like Harley Fat Boys or Road Kings. Like, and he's just sitting there, it's on its front tire, and it's like, okay, you can get these bikes that shouldn't be able to wheelie or change balance, and he can do it, and it makes it look easy. And it's just so cool.
That's crazy, actually.
When I was sitting next to Joe, I saw it on the screen for the first time, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is so cool. This is Bucky, right?
Yeah.
Just him in that whole thing." And it
takes a lot to make Bucky look good. Several people.
Sebastian makes it look easy. The rest of us are just trying to keep up. But Joe, when he did it, I had to thank him because Bucky's one of those characters that's just it's near and dear to me.
Oh yeah.
It's Sebastian that we're working with, and plus I've always been a fan of the character, and I love it. And I just like, dude, thank you so much for everything you brought to it, because that sequence, in my opinion, is like, he nailed it.
Yeah.
It's like, it was fantastic. Makes me want to do like, hey, you know, if we ever get the opportunity with Bucky moving forward, let's just have him on a motorcycle going down, and we're knife fighting with something else is going on. Kind of John Wick on the horse versus the motorcycles. By the way, Joe Dryden did that sequence as well.
Oh,
so just couldn't be a cooler.
Man is talented. Yes, man is talented.
Like, he is a black belt in engines. And he makes it look so cool.
Yeah, no, I was actually not aware that it was just not you on the motorcycle.
There are some things that, you know, when it comes to it and it comes to safety and stunts, you got to know those times of like,
yeah, this guy.
I'm going to step back.
Yeah.
Like, you have somebody, again, I love to ride motorcycles. I built my Harley.
Right.
Can I do what Joe does? Absolutely.
But he can do it blindfolded.
He could probably be like sedated and still do it. So even anything in the future moving forward, like, hey, you're doing this on a motorcycle and this, my question would be like, well, what exactly are you looking for in this? And if it's like, it fits in this, like, it's just riding the bike. Like, I got you on this. We want to do this and this and this. And they'd be like, I would love to do these kind of things, but I'm telling you this for time and safety and for just how it's going to look. I will call Joe Dryden and get him here tomorrow.
This is the
if
guy.
He's available. This is the guy. He's going to do this. You're not going to, if you need multiple takes, it's because the camera was off.
Right.
It's not going to be because of him. Because he will stop that motorcycle on the head of a pin. And he'll do it and he'll make it look awesome.
Amazing. Amazing. So before I let you go, I know that there had to be moments on Thunderbolts, even though I haven't seen the movie yet.
Your lightsaber went out.
Yeah. Screw it.
You still look beautiful. I feel underdressed. You look incredible.
Yeah. You got a little micro dick.
Mine's over here. I can attach it to one. It's not even attached.
That is kind of messed up. So before we let you go, I know that there has to be some interesting or funny moments on set of Thunderbolts. Give us a good behind the scenes moment that we wouldn't get from watching the film.
Well, one I'll give you that I think is maybe already out in the world, and that is, again, going back to Joe.
Okay.
I'm a fan, if you can't guess on that.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you have friends and people that
you want to lift them up.
Just that cool. And you're no, I'm actually friends with this person. So, because they didn't want Bucky to wear a helmet, so he kind of had that cool effect going in. So they made a helmet for Joe. It's a skin-colored helmet, and they put a wig on it with ears.
Yes, I have to see this.
And I'm sorry, everybody, that my phone's probably too small on this, but I can show you.
We'll see if we can blow it up.
Joe in the helmet.
Oh my God!
And it's just such an amazing.
It literally is.
No, the photo is actually out there because they've addressed it on Jimmy Kimmel. They addressed it, and I think Wyatt Russell had a poster made of Joe.
Oh yeah,
doing it, and I'm trying. I got to reach out to Wyatt.
I love
I need a poster of this to give to Joe.
I love the goggles.
It's incredible. Well, and he originally wasn't wearing sunglasses, so there's just
okay, that makes sense. And
other different things that kind of happen to that. But the photo of Joe in that helmet,
the wig, and
again, for somebody when you see the sequence, you're like, it's just as cool as can be.
Yeah,
and you have Joe was wearing that.
I'm gonna look for this helmet in the film now. Like,
you'll never see it. The CG in that film is absolute.
Yeah. I'm sure they cover it.
It's David Fincher level.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The other moment, I will say, this was kind of a fun one on my end, but this might be a spoilerish moment if you haven't seen.
Spoiler alert.
So when they encounter Sentry, there's a moment between Bucky and Sentry rips Bucky's arm off and he smacks him with it, and it sends him flying, and he throws the arm. That's a spoiler. So first time we do it, the arm is off, and I'm going, maybe it's like 15 feet back on a ratchet, hitting the ground and then sliding. So I got to hit and then be dead. Plus, I'm trying to get up as much as I can to give it a real impact because it's the Sentry. And the Sentry is...
you have to sell this like it's super brutal.
Yeah. And...
without actually ripping your arm off.
Well, and as you're coming into the ground, there's ways like, okay, well, this arm's not here. So it's like, however I can feather myself into the ground as opposed to hitting the ground but I also still need to be going into the ground so that I can slide as opposed to like a dead hit.
Right.
And then it's being dragged. And, the first time we go to do it, Jake is the effects guy. And he was like, hey, man, I'm going to remove your arm anyway, so you're good on everything. I'm like, cool, yeah, we can just do this. So we do the first take. Second take, they come over and they're like, hey, because of the way the sleeve sits, can you do the entire thing with your arm stuck to your side? And I'm going to my left side, so there's no way to even roll the arm in to absorb any of this.
You just have to.
And trying to think of how I can do this so it doesn't look like I'm trying to save myself and still make it as impactful. And he's like, yeah, just this. If you can just keep your arm glued to your side. And I'm like, looking at this, and Heidi Moneymaker, stunt legend of all,
course.
Our wonderful stunt coordinator, she's kind of looking at me like, and I'm just looking at him like, watch this, it's going to be great. She's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be great. So we do the whole thing, and I literally go flying through the air, and my arm is stuck to the side. And that was the day that I learned I don't need all my body parts to do ratchets and to catch myself. And I hit the ground and kept my arm to the side as I'm even sliding. And I have the rubber arm on, so it's catching drag too.
Yeah.
And I just get in the position, and they're there. And they're like, cut. And Heidi immediately comes over. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, that actually was way easier. But there was a moment in my head of like, well, shit.
I'm just going to plop.
Here we go. Let's do this. So, there is that moment when you see Bucky flying through the air, you can know that I had a second of going,
ooh.
Fucker. Okay, yeah, we got this. This is gonna go.
This is gonna suck.
But again, I was with Mike Huggins and Ralph Cock.
Yeah.
Who's
great.
Two of the best raters in the business. So,
great.
Anytime on Ralphie's line,
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. Like, how bad is this going to be? I don't know. No one's going home at the end of the day, so we're good.
No, that's amazing. What'd you do to catch yourself? What'd you feather yourself with?
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
maybe it was my head.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's why you don't remember. I
am not sure. I actually have to see the movie again to be like, I did this and there, like, because you fully see me.
You watch the movie. It's just you, Scorpion. You're just like,
it worked. Thankfully, it wasn't getting Scorpion.
That's what stopped me. It was my face.
It was my face. I mean, it was definitely like, when you have to remove that. You do judo or anything, you learn to. Connect. As this hand hits, then the back of your wrist, then your forearm, then your elbow. So I think it was just more of like, okay, I'm going down here. Yeah. I felt the first part of my side of leg hit, and it's like, go here, and then it's just very quick.
That way you didn't hit straight shoulder. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and spike shoulder, because if you do that, your shoulder,
you're done. Yeah, that's the end of your day for sure.
Yeah, I was actually in class this past week, and a guy did Uchimata to me, and my shoulder just went clack. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Okay, it's all still there. I'm good. Yeah, we're fine." But he's like, "You came right down on that," and I'm like, "Yeah, that could have really sucked." It's like I got to defend better. But on that one, no, it was actually really
it was easy. Yeah.
But it was one of those moments of like,
can I do this?
Okay, here we go. Let's do this.
And then you're like, "No, I'm John Nania. I got this shit."
Definitely not any words that came out of my mind. It's that's the fun thing about stunts is like half the time somebody's gonna come to you and be like, so the gag is you were an astronaut with telekinetic powers in zero gravity fighting this four-armed beast with this weird hand-to-hand weapon, which is a ceremonial weapon from this planet that you were just visiting. It's shaped like this, so it's not really like anything. Can you do this?
And you're like,
and then,
got it.
Well, in your mind, I'm never like, got it. But it's like, okay, I can do wire work. I've done zero gravity work. I've fought creatures with different things. Telekinetic powers, I know how to incorporate. Like, it's just like fighting styles. Bucky has a very different, very specific fighting style of like, we have rules that are set for him. John Wick has a set of rules that are set for him and how we do things.
Right.
Vigilante, same thing. It's like, hey, we have these. So telekinetic powers is part of your fighting style. It's like, okay, well, you're not going to do Taekwondo, but it's like have karate, you have these things. So it's like, all right, that's in there. This weapon resembles enough of something like this weapon and this weapon and this weapon, and I know these and I've trained these. So your answer after that analysis just becomes, yeah, it's gonna be great. Watch this. And it's like, you got it. Nobody's ever done this before, but you know, we have enough random experiences that we're gonna make it work, and
no,
hopefully it's gonna be awesome. Like,
and it
that
always,
was
I was gonna say, it always looks great.
We hope, God, we hope.
Yeah, it usually does. But once again, this has been amazing. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, sir. It has been a pleasure. Well, you know what? They just put me in this. This is a rent a suit. These pants are from Walmart.
Fantastic. Walmart has quality prices and a big asterisk, which so does Thunderbolts.
Hey.
Stick around all to the end to find out the asterisk.
Yes.
But it's you see a Walmart thing, that was brilliant marketing. You see a Walmart truck goes by and you're like,
Thunderbolts.
There we go.
Yes, once again, everybody, this has been the Good Slate Late Show, whatever the fuck.
Early in the morning, this afternoon, before tea time, after the 4th Labor Day of last year on a leap year.
He's a better host than I am.
Not even close. It's just, see, people are thinking about me ripping off my jaw. Like, just shut up.
So, do you have any interesting projects coming up? Where can we find you on social media? Let the people know.
The only social media I have is John Ninja for Instagram.
John Ninja.
Yep, just JOHN Ninja. That's it. I'm not a social media person.
Yeah.
Like, I really suck at it. Which I'm actually okay with. Deleting Facebook was one of the most liberating things ever.
Yeah.
But on there, and I'm actually usually pretty good at replying to people even in there, because people want to know things. And like, is Sebastian really nice? Yeah, he's really nice. He's exceptionally
nice guy.
Is he okay from doing this? He's just fine. He's very okay. He's very happy and healthy and doing that. We make sure he is. Because, they care. And then coming up at the moment, it's Peacemaker Season 2. Should premiere in August. And I got to do a lot of different things on that. That is mentioned before the fight, where you're going to see Justin and I together.
Okay.
We'll be in some capacity on that show. But then I'm also a few characters on that show. It's just me.
Yeah.
Wonderful time, but team of people like Hank Amos and Dave McCumber working with them.
Great guys.
Yeah, they're just, whole show was phenomenal to work.
Looking forward to seeing that as well. I like the first season. Peacemaker 1 was great.
Second season, I think, is going to be infinitely better. I loved first season. I thought first season was incredible.
Yeah.
Second season blew me away. I'm like, holy crap.
Looking forward to it.
This is going to be amazing.
Heck yeah. Well, everyone, go see Thunderbolts in theaters right now, and Peacemaker when it comes out in
August.
Yes. Once again, this has been John Nania on the Good Slate Late Show.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Shamalama Ding Dong.